President Muhammadu Buhari's recent request for the US government to consider relocating the command headquarters of its African Command, Africom, currently based in Stuttgart, Germany, to Africa is truly regrettable. President Buhari reportedly made this request at a virtual meeting he held with the US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on Tuesday, April 27th. After reviewing the dire security situation facing Nigeria and other neighboring countries, President Buhari then concluded that, considering the growing security challenges in the West and Central Africa, Gulf of Guinea, Lake Chad region, and the Sahel, it underscores the need for the United States to consider relocating Africom headquarters from Stuttgart, Germany, to Africa and near the theater of operations. Although Nigeria was not specifically mentioned as the country being proposed to play host to Africom's headquarters, it is reasonable to assume that President Buhari most probably had Nigeria in mind, since he neither elected nor mandated to speak for or on behalf of any sovereign country or even Africa. To be candid, asking for foreign help in the face of our daunting security challenges, as the government have been advised to do by well-meaning Nigerians, it is not the same thing as literally begging the US to relocate its Africom headquarters to Africa. We need to be specific in the type of the technical assistance we require without begging to be recolonized. First, US troops never fight for any country, only for America's national interest. Second, the US has no history of solving problems in any country or region, and examples abound: Iraq, Afghanistan, Mali, Niger, Chad, Somali, to mention a few. In Mali, for example, the same special forces that the US trained for insurgency operations later overthrew the government of that country in 2012. Third, the US already has scores of known and clandestine African military bases all over the continent anyway, so the headquarters only coordinates and gives directives to the operations of the troop on the ground. Nick Tews, who for several years has closely monitored US military activities in Africa, has asserted that the US African Command, Africom, has maintained a veil of secrecy about much of the command's activities and mission locations, consistently downplaying the size, scale, and scope of its efforts. Apart from Clamp Lemure in Djibouti, which is well known, Africom's clandestine activities are war fighting have been going on for many years in several countries around Nigeria: Mauritania, Senegal, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Mali, Niger Republic, Chad. So what additional benefits will our hosting the headquarters confer? What benefits have accrued to Africa since President Bush Jr. declared America's unilateral global war on terror, GWOT, and, and by it deployed thousands of troops on the continent, from Pan-Sahel Initiative to the Trans-Sahara Counterterrorism Initiative to Operation Enduring Freedom, Trans-Sahara? Africom is only the permanent one. Truth be told, all these military initiatives are directed at achieving a single purpose: keeping America safe. Any other activity is merely incidental to the central mission. A casual look at Africom's mission statement shows clearly that it counters transitional threats and malign actors, strengthens security forces, and responds to crises in order to advance US national interest and promote regional security, stability, and prosperity. It is clear that its objective is primarily the advancement and defense of US interests, merely another instrument of US foreign policy. No one can blame America for this, but America needs not become sterile-eyed that US military presence on our soil will ever serve our national interests. In what way have America's Syria military initiatives mentioned above and Africom ever benefited Africa? America's involvement in Africa since the early 1960s, Congo, South Africa, support of apartheid, Ghana, Angola, Mozambique, Somalia, have never benefited Africans. They accomplish their national objectives, they pack and go, leaving the countries to bear the brunt of their destructive activities. for America is never interested in nation building. Iraq and Afghanistan are recent ensemblance cases. America's former military intrusion into Nigeria first came with the MPRI counterinsurgency training program under President Olusegun Obasanjo. It was on the strength of opposition to it that the then Army Chief General Victor Malu lost his commission, for it was never intended to benefit Nigeria. President Jonathan had to terminate it as it became obvious that America was simply using it to spy on Nigeria. Why is Nigeria, the country that has risked so much for Africa, stood stoutly and proudly and inspired other African states against US military presence? Now the one particular begging for Americans' military occupation of the continent. President Buhari's request vitiates Nigeria's self-sacrificial defense of African interests since its independence and calls into question its leadership role. Let not forget that the original decision not to allow Africom to be based anywhere in Africa was predicated upon the reasoning analysis by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in consultation with other critical stakeholders at the time, repudiating that logically driven position now that Nigerian government seems helpless in the face of the unrelenting domestic and geopolitical insecurities is unfortunate and retrogressive. The pertinent question now is, would other countries which had followed Nigeria's lead by not accepting Africom to be based on their soil continue to repose sufficient confidence in its leadership or important African issues? Frankly speaking, the federal government should perish the thought we can ask for foreign assistance from wherever we can get them without pretending that only the US has the magic wand against geopolitical insurgencies plaguing West Central Africa. Apart from its symbolic value of demonstrating that Africans have formally and enthusiastically accepted Africom, there's little that relocating of its headquarters to an African country would add to the operational capabilities and efficiency of US forces that have been operating both overtly and clandestinely unhindered across the continent for decades. Vast improvement in the efficiency of the mechanism of intelligence gathering, modern communications, and logistics have been made geographical distance no longer a hindrance. For example, the distance of command headquarters was no hindrance to US Special Force troops who swooped in Nigerian territory to rescue an American citizen who had been adopted in Niger Republic and transported across the border.